Hi, Tait here and welcome back to another video. Today is the long-awaited digital chibi tutorial, so let's get straight into it. I'm starting with the head. I draw a couple of heads as examples. I usually just start off with a circle. This is all in real time, by the way, up until the line art. After that I do time-lapse it a bit, like the start of the time-lapse is normal, and then it speeds up for the base colors and the coloring. Base colors are really fast, the coloring is really slow, but this is all the sketching is in real time. So right now I'm just sort of demonstrating different head shapes you can do. I usually, to draw the face, I sort of draw lines coming down from the edges of the circle, if that makes sense, and then I bring it down to a point in the middle. You can see I draw the line through the middle to get the middle point. Or sometimes I'll do it more sort of flat, sort of more squarish like this. I think I end up making it a bit rounder and also a bit shorter, because generally the shorter the face, the more sort of cutesy it looks. So that's what I did here. You can see me using the lasso tool and selecting the bit that I want to move up. This is the advantage with digital art. You don't have to just redraw everything. You can just come in and move little bits around, and yeah, it makes life so much easier. Like, I used to prefer sketching on paper and bringing that into the program to do my line art on with digital art, but I've ended up getting used to digital sketching. I do find it harder with accuracy, like my traditional sketches are cleaner, but yeah, it's easy to move stuff around, so I've got less weird proportions. And now I'm just doing a 3/4 view. I do a line sort of 3/4, and then with the face I sort of do a bump at the edge of the circle and just bring it around rather than my front-on views like this. And now I am going to move on to the body. When I start the body, actually I'm not moving on to the body, I sort of am. When I do the body, I generally make it 2.5 heads high. You'll see what I mean in a second. I'm just cleaning up my sketch a little bit. I don't know why. I'm just trying to make it easier to see. My sketches end up really messy a lot of the time, especially my digital sketches. Like, I purposely did this on my iPad just so I'd have slightly more control, but it also means I'm going a little bit slower. But now you can see I'm copying the head so I can get the height of it. So this is where that 2.5 heads comes in. Generally the tallest you'll want a chibi is 3 heads, and you can make them 2 heads tall as well, which is like a really small body, really cutesy. I like the in-between. The taller you make them, the less sort of cutesy they are. And yeah, that's the gist of it. So I'm just doing that now so you can visually see how tall I make my chibis. And now I'm actually going to move on to the body. So I draw a line sort of in the middle of, like, from the bottom of the head to where the feet would be, so in the middle, you can see that. And then with the torso I do a sort of hourglass shape, sort of like 2 triangles overlapping, which I've drawn in that you can see. I generally add the neck afterwards. I don't know why I do that, I just prefer drawing the body first. And then you'll see that I add in some lines sort of cutting off parts of the triangle. That's generally my shoulders, I find. I just draw the sort of torso too wide to begin with. And now we're onto the legs. With the legs, I sort of do the knee halfway between the bottom of the body and the feet again. And the outside line, I generally do 2 curves, while the inside line I do straight. The feet, I've been very varied on how I do my feet lately. Sometimes I make them more defined, sometimes I just do like little stubs at the end. It really depends on my mood. These are sort of like an in-between stub, in-between foot. But yeah, and then I always leave the arms till last. I think it's because I find them the hardest. So the elbow is sort of like the middle of the waist, and then the hands are sort of underneath the body, if like you can visually see. There's lots of different styles you can draw Chibi's hands as well. Sometimes I do mittens, which I've done on this. Sometimes I'll add fingers, or sometimes I'll just do little chubby spiky fingers sort of thing. Depends on my mood as well, or what the drawing calls for. I do a little drawing next to the hand, which will pop up very soon, I hope. That sort of shows you that you could draw the fingers instead. I'm working on showing where sort of the body ends and cleaning up the sketch a bit more again. But yeah, my chibis end up really curvy. I really like that look, although I find it makes it harder when I try to draw male chibis. This is a female body. Male chibis, it generally is more of a broader shoulders and less curvy hips. I don't draw males that much, and I'm not going to do a tutorial on them because I don't want to share like something I'm not the best at. So that's why this is a female body. I should have probably said that at the start, but this is why this is a female body. Also, I have done this whole tutorial on paper before, which also is very similar, but I just wanted to update it in a digital format as well because people had asked for a digital format. But I will link the old tutorial just so you can go see that as well, because I talk more about like the whole body heights and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, now I'm drawing the other hand. The other hand styles that I was talking about. Don't know why I didn't do that straight after drawing the hand and cleaned up instead. Also, if you haven't noticed, I am doing this voiceover after I've done the drawing rather than while doing it. I decided this would be the best option because it took a lot of time for me to do this drawing because I sort of stopped and started a lot. I also was working on this while I was at my dad's house, which makes it even harder to do a voiceover while drawing because I don't have my microphone there, and generally I'm in the lounge room and there's just lots of noise. It's really hard to just sit down and draw while I'm there. Anyway, we're moving on to the face. So for the position of the eyes, I generally do it a bit below halfway. You can see the line I've done there. So it's just a little bit under halfway, and then the bottom of the eyes I'll generally bring to the bottom of the circle, which you will see me do in a minute. But yeah, I have a tutorial on how to draw chibi eyes as well, which I'll put up like a little link thing so you can go check that out, because I'm not going to go into depth here, but there are so many different styles of eyes you can do. So many different styles, it's crazy. I need to practice more different styles so I can do more sort of like sharp looking eyes and all the cool looking eyes that people do. Learn all like this. I love looking at how people draw eyes. It's really cool actually. And here I go cleaning up the sketch a bit more for you. The mouth I generally just try and squeeze between the eyes and the bottom of the face. I didn't leave much room in the sketch apparently. Wouldn't be surprised if I move the eyes up a little bit. It's always funny looking back at old drawings as well, because I finished this a while ago. I just haven't had the time to edit it because this took so much longer to edit than my normal videos because it's got real-time parts and I've got to do the explanation on how to do the tutorial. So yeah, there we go, there's the mouth. It's pretty much almost lining up with the eyes. It's very squishy. And then I move on to the clothes, which I just did very simple for this tutorial because I'm not really focusing on clothes or anything like that. For inspiration on like hair and clothes, you can go to Pinterest. I have a few like boards saved up. I have one for hair, I have one for poses, I have one for clothes, I have general inspiration, I have plants, I have all these different like inspiration boards, and it's so useful just for coming up ideas for drawings and stuff. Like even at work, sometimes when I'm getting slightly frustrated at the kids' choices of what they want me to draw, because I'll be like, can you draw this character, can you draw this character, and I'm just get a bit bored of it, so I'll be like, I'll get Pinterest up on my phone and I'll show them all the pretty dresses and be like, choose one, and I'll draw one of them instead. If you'd like, I could leave links to my Pinterest in the description. Like, ask for it, I'll put them there, I don't know. Would you like me to link sort of where I get my inspiration from? Although I didn't actually look up inspiration for this piece specifically, but I do use Pinterest a lot to help me come up with ideas for my drawings. And honestly, it is such a great resource. If you don't use it, give it a try, because I never thought I'd actually like it, and I do. Anyway, while I'm sketching the hair, I'll just take a second to say that I am still planning on doing a tutorial on how to draw braids. I am still practicing because I want to be good at it for when I do the tutorial. I talk more about what I was doing with the hair here, except I really don't know what to say about it. I just sort of do it. That is a problem I know a lot of artists have when it comes to tutorials. They don't know how to explain. So I am in that situation right now, and I don't know how to explain how I do hair. I sort of just do it. At least braids, there is sort of a formula to it, so I should be able to explain that, and that is why I'm practicing as well. But hair, you sort of, what can I say? You do it in sort of clumps. You can draw out like the rough shape of it and then add strands. I've always struggled with hair myself. It is a problem area for me. I find copying other people's drawings of hair and just looking at the hairstyles on Pinterest, it all helps. I'm getting better. Like, I've been practicing my shading as well with hair because that's something I wasn't happy with, and I've been copying other people's styles, like, as studies, not in my own works, but it's sort of come together as one. And here I go, I moved the eyes up. I knew they were too low. They were bugging me. And I redraw the mouth to suit the new eye position. But yeah, hair is hard. Drawing is hard. Like, I always have people commenting saying that they're struggling or that they can't draw or they wish they could draw. And it's literally just a matter of practice. The more you practice, the better you will get. I have been drawing all my life pretty much, but semi-seriously for 8 years, and I could still take my art a lot more seriously and draw a lot more often, besides the fact that my shoulder doesn't allow me to. But seriously, it's sort of frustrating in a way. Like, just keep practicing. It's not like if you do 5 drawings you'll magically be good. No, you gotta do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drawings to get good. And even then, you never stop learning. You always keep progressing. If you want to, like, ways to improve, I've got a whole video on that as well. I'll link that up as well. But like, get critiques on your artwork, copy other artworks or studies. There's so much you can do. I'll put that, I definitely will link that video for you guys. But seriously, I used to be absolutely terrible at drawing chibis. Like, they were so bad, I just couldn't do it. I tried so much and I finally started getting everywhere, and now they're like the main thing I draw. It's really weird, honestly. But now I'm moving on to the line art. I've got a little bit of it in real time so I can explain sort of what I do. I use the pencil tool, mechanical pencil tool, and lately I've been using size 7. I don't know if I use 10 or 7 for this. I used to use 10. So yeah, when doing line arts, to get it smooth, try and do it in one stroke rather than like doing lots of little strokes. You can Control Z as many times as you need, which you've already seen me do, like heaps. I also, with my line art, I'll set the layer to multiply, which sort of makes it have opacity in a way. The base color's under it, you'll be able to see if the line's not smooth or if there's color missing and stuff underneath the line, which makes it a little bit trickier. But I find it makes the line art look a lot nicer in the end. And normally I don't do the line art in black. I did it for ease of our eyes while watching the video. Normally I do it in a pinky color, sometimes purple, but pink is the most common color, and I always change it by the end anyway. Especially the eyes. I will do the eyes, and then after I've done all the base colors, I'll make the eye color a darker version of the base color that I've done for the eyes. But I thought you'd appreciate just this little bit of line art in real time. If you do want to watch me do a full chibi in real time as well, go watch my live streams. Seriously, that's the whole video in real time. Everything, like, everything, although I tend not to finish all my chibis on stream because I'm bad and run out of time. But you get to see everything else. I need to really do some finishing stuff in streams though. My most recent stream, which currently would be Urk from Fire Emblem, I did get majority of that finished in one stream. I think it's just like the eyes left, which I've got a tutorial on anyway, so it doesn't matter. And now we're finally into time-lapse, which will be for the rest of the video. So just to clarify, I am using Clip Studio Paint on an iPad 6 with the Apple Pencil for this tutorial video. Normally, I'd use it on the computer with my Wacom graphics tablet, which there is an Amazon link to a Wacom graphics tablet in the description. It's not mine because mine is old, but there is an entry-level Wacom tablet link in the description and a link to Clip Studio Paint as well, so go check those out. But yeah, for this I decided to use my iPad just so I had more control, because I find with my tablet I'm a lot more messy. So I believe I've already said that, but I'll say it again just so you know. So that's why it's also sort of cropped on the screen, because iPad size is weird and it's not like a full video sort of thing. But I do like how it looks at the same time. The only issue though with drawing on my iPad is I have to have a keyboard for my iPad because I struggle without all the shortcuts. It is so hard, but at the same time I don't like have my keyboard in front of me and then my iPad behind the keyboard. I sort of have to have the keyboard to the side, and I'm used to having the keyboard in front of me, and it's all sort of confusing really. Like, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard, but it really is. And some things I haven't figured out how to do without the keyboard yet. Like if I'm just in my normal brush tool trying to make a straight line, I don't know how to do that without the shortcut. I'd have to go to like the straight line tool. It's so frustrating. But it's really good that Clip Studio Paint is on the iPad as well. It means I can just switch between programs. I can start something on the computer and then move on to like my iPad, like switch around. I can just put it onto, what's the Apple drive called? Cloud? Put it on cloud, and yeah. Sorry, I'm not like an Apple user. I much prefer Android and like Windows and all that stuff. But the iPad 6 was sort of like a cheap option for me to be able to draw digitally while I'm not home, because I'm barely home. So that's why I use it, and I do like it. I also have Procreate, which I haven't done any finished pieces in yet, but I do like it for sketching and for digital painting, although I haven't really done much of that. But my favorite tool on Procreate is the like 6B pencil for sketching. It is so cool. Like, it just, I love it. Also, another thing I love about my Apple Pencil is that you can tilt it, so it sort of like changes the effect of the brush, and it works like with the 6B pencil. It's like an actual pencil. If you put it on the side, it's sort of like a more wider, softer sort of look, while if it's straight on top, it's like harder. Oh, I love that tool, and I wanted to just do a whole drawing with that tool one day. But my whole problem is that I don't sketch cleanly. But anyway, I can't really help it. I try, but even digitally it's really hard. I do feel like I have a lot more control with my graphics tablet in a sense. When it comes to doing line art anyway, I feel like I have more control. But when it comes to sketching, I have more control with the iPad. Like, it's different. It's weird how different the tablet and iPad is, but how similar they are. I still one day want a Wacom Cintiq though. That's sort of like the goal. Or a Huion. A Huion would be cool as well. Like, to see the difference between the two. I haven't gotten to play with a Huion at all, but it's something I really want to look into doing one day. Like, it'd be so cool to be sponsored by Huion, because I know they send out their tablets to the people they sponsor, so that'd be really awesome, because I do want to test it. I'd love to have the money to be able to get the tablets and like do reviews for you guys. That would be amazing. I'd love to do that with all sorts of products actually, just review everything. I should probably actually try doing some like free art program videos and all that stuff. That'd be interesting actually. All these ideas, I'm just flowing with ideas now. Like, what other ideas have I got? I've also had the idea of doing like an art phrases that annoy me video, which I think would be sort of entertaining because I feel like it'd be relating for a lot of artists. Oh, it's like, as I'm doing this voiceover, it's 12:20 at night. Like, at AM. So now it's just like that time of night where I'm hyper and the ideas are flowing. Anyway, we're reaching the end of this video. I hope you liked the tutorial. I hope it's like a new point of view. Go check out the old tutorial as well, because that's got information that is useful, and the eye tutorial and the base color tutorial, all the tutorials. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos every Wednesday and Friday, plus usually a live stream once a week as well, generally on Mondays, but sometimes other days as well. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.
Crack it.